And we are live. Welcome to the Hermit Trivia stream, the best trivia game you can play anywhere on YouTube. I am your Hermit host. We will be starting in just a couple of minutes if you are just arriving, getting things set up, waiting for some more butts to fill the seats, and we will get a show going ASAP. All right, emphasis on sap. No, just kidding. Have fun. Have a seat. If you're on the chat thread, tell us what you're drinking. Tell us how you live in. Introduce yourself. Go for it. Let me know if you can hear me okay, too. So I'm going to start the music. Ooh, groovy. Wow. This music awakens me to a past life of my previous incarnation. Pretty jamming though. We're going to have a jamming night here at Hermit Trivia, episode 17. Welcome, come one, come all. Set yourself up on the chat thread. Yeah, let's make a puzzle for today. I always like to start with a little game of Hangman before we get to our official trivia night. Hi, Leslie. Welcome. It's all good. I think you're still the first one here. Oh my. Welcome all. Welcome to the thread. Assumption class complete. Long and comfortable in the spine. If you are just arriving to our thread, welcome to Hermit Trivia. Have yourself a seat, Sit tight. If you are on the chat thread, please feel free to introduce yourself. Say hello to the gang. Any amount of a conversation. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Just like my mom. See, she knows how to do it. Let us know you're here, and we'll be starting the game in about 15 minutes. This is jaunty. That's a bit silly, I think. Let's do something weird. Creepy. Ooh, I like this. This is fun. Hey, Mom, want to take a guess on Hangman? Anybody? It's a person. 10 letters. 2 words. Hi, Dad. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you all here. Welcome all to Hermit Trivia, the best trivia game online. Okay, Lisa guesses E. Mom guesses R. Yeah, I think we got some E's and R's. We have 1 E and 2 R's. Good guesses, guys. Oh, Mom. God. Mom guessed it too fast. I should have known. But yes, she is right. It is Fred Willard. That didn't last long, yes. The great Fred Willard. RIP. It was such a shock, too. As soon as I heard about his death, I was like, hey, what happened? I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I got a wheel wed wagon. And no, don't apologize, Mom. And people looked at me and said, Mark, that's way too soon. That's appropriate. I said, I don't think so. Oh, classic. That dude is amazing. So right here, I think I'll come up with something else real quick. We got what? Welcome to Hermit Trivia. We are starting our show in less than 10 minutes, less than 10. So buckle in, gather around, introduce yourself on the chat thread. Let us know how you're doing, what you're drinking, because this is a party and you don't want to go without your libations. Wouldn't it be great if all the Supreme Court justices? I don't know, realistically, like... Special guest star, the ghost of Antonin Scalia. Ooh. Zoinks! That's what the House of Supreme Court Justices would be. Ooh, what a wreck. Let's make something new. Brother style. That'd be amazing. I'm sorry, I'm having way too much fun tonight. I think I stop giggling. Here's one. I know, Dad, I know. But just actually the idea of a Supreme Court Big Brother, that would be amazing. Welcome to Hermit Trivia, currently the home of Hangman. Here's the next one. And it's another person. Who wants to take a guess? This is a tough one. Okay, Lisa with an E, Dad with a T. Get the phone home, great one. Four E's and a T. Mike with an H. Mom with an R. Don't stick your neck out. Yeah, don't stick your neck out, or, that's what E.T. learned the hard way. Otherwise, they execute Order 66 and you got to flee to the other side of the galaxy. Because everyone knows E.T. was a Jedi. Yes, good guess, Mom. You're absolutely right. It is the Headless Horseman. Too good at these. Too good at these. I think I need more combos. Yes. Very good, Mom. Yes, you got it. The Headless Horseman. These are fun. Welcome to Hermit Trivia. If you're just arriving, please feel free to have a. No, Mom, it's great. I love it. Don't be ashamed about being good at stuff. Never be ashamed. I'm glad you're guessing all these. You are always the ace at Wheel of Fortune. I'm not surprised. I think I'm going to leave it for now because I do want to start in just a few minutes. Yeah, technically, I thought I'm going to add another 5 minutes on the clock to make sure any latecomers can show up. I'm something of a latecomer myself tonight, so I hope people didn't come in here wondering, hey, where's Mark? What happened? We'll get started soon. It's a great thing about a stream. Got lots of time to show me. Let's schmooze. Let's catch up on our days. Let me say hello to the little ones. Hi, Meyer and Bubba. Thinking about you. This song was called Happy Bee. It's really nice, like B-E-E. It's so delightful. I'm really liking this YouTube audio library. Also, how is the sound? Let me know. How is the mic? How's the background music? If you can hear okay, let me know. If there's any issues. Ooh, corn dog casserole. Sounds like delicious amusement park food. Corn dog casserole. Also the name of my jam band. It's an all banjo Primus cover band. Welcome to Hermit Trivia. All those watching, if you have not already posted yourself on the chat thread now, don't be a stranger. Feel free to say hello. We are getting started with our actual trivia game in just a couple of minutes. Going to be some exciting stuff, some good time, folks. Some fantastic questions, some even better answers, and good times with the best people on the internet all around. That is, yes, the best people in the internet are literally right here, right now, speaking to us. You are in very good hands. I mean, what, you're going to go on Reddit, waste your time with them? Come on, man. You're on the internet. You have so many choices. You could take a master class. You could watch anime. You can argue about what you didn't like about the Star Wars movie, or you could have some quality time and enjoy the best trivia in the universe. Welcome home. Sorry, Lisa. It's okay. Waiting for some more people to join in. Just to warn, this may end up being only a family affair tonight. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. It's a family affair. Good times. I miss your sense of humor, guys. Mike and Lisa, looking forward to when the world calms down, all this nonsense wraps up, being able to hang out again, chat like we did in Portland and stuff. That was good times. It was lots of fun. Miss you guys. We'll get started in just a couple of minutes. Aw. Big hugs. That's from Meyer and Bubba, too. This sounds nice. This sounds like the kind of nice song that might slip into beautiful sadness. So that's Got Funk. We'll be starting Hermit Trivia. I'm going to give you okay, so we got 4 minutes to the start of Hermit Trivia, and that's a hard 4, okay? I think it's time we get this show on the road. I think we start locking down the seats. If you'd like to be in the chat thread, it's now or never. Join us, wonderful folks. Introduce yourself. Let us know what you're drinking, how your day's been, what's new. And we'll be having an exciting game show just starting in a little bit. Going to get one last coffee boost before the start. High quality H2O. Hey, Charles. Oh, I want to give a special shout out to Joseph Brennan and Charles Barrett for their Patreon donations. You guys keep going. Big special shout out to both my father, the awesome Joseph Brennan, and my very dear friend Charles Barrett for being my first Patreon subscribers. You guys, your donations help keep the channel alive. You guys have huge amount of thanks for you. You guys are awesome. I'm still at the level 5 donation, so like pretty much anyone who donates at this point gets a shout out. So get that discount shout out while you still can. Big special shout out to Joseph Brennan and Charles Barrett for their amazing, awesome donations. Hermit Trivia, thanks you. I thank you. Here at HT Studios, you are the best. Let me get the Patreon link in for anyone who's curious. If you're considering donating, or if you would just like to you just want to take a looky-loo, there you go. And we'll be getting started in 2 minutes. Charles, you've got to play a game called Disco Elysium. It's a computer RPG, except your fellow party members are the voices in your head. Go away, notifications. country. Amy, what you wanna do? All right, everybody. Hermit Trivia episode 17 is ready to launch. Kablam! Welcome all to Hermit Trivia, the best trivia game show on YouTube. Perhaps the only one. Actually, I can't guarantee that, but I don't know. This is pretty awesome regardless. Welcome. This is our 17th episode. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming by to play with us in this awesome game. This is going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Welcome to Hermit Trivia. It's the trivia for smart people who stay inside. The only trivia where you can have the bar trivia experience at your table, or in your bed. I'm Mark Walsh, your Hermit host. Thank you for joining me in this experiment tonight. Tonight's trivia is 6 rounds with 3 questions each. I will read the questions twice and as clearly as possible. You will then have 1 minute to listen to a lovely public domain song and write or think out your answer. Each question will be worth 1 point. There will be a halftime question worth multiple points, as well as a 5-minute break between rounds 3 and 4. There will also be a final question after round 6, which will be worth 10 points. You will have 3 minutes to consider that final question. That being said, this trivia game can be played at home on your own terms. You can change the point values, choose not to use the points, break your party into different teams, put everyone into one big team, call in other players to be opposing teams or teammates on separate devices, fly solo, play solitaire, or you can just watch me or listen to me be the fascinating trivia host that I am. If you want to watch or listen, don't worry. If you want to escape my ugly mug and listen to the sound of my melodious voice, I will not judge you on that, as long as you're watching the show. Okay, please feel free to share in the chat your chosen food and drink. My drink of the week is a lovely cocktail of Diet Cherry Coca-Cola and Jameson Irish whiskey. The pause that refreshes. You can also share your point totals or how many teams you formed, descriptions of your favorite anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and more. Okay, to increase interactivity and fun, we are giving a 10-second window for people to guess answers to their question before the final reveal. I will show the go prompt for 10 seconds. During that time, players have a chance to type a guess on the chat window. Otherwise, do not type out the answers on the chat stream. See, I even laid a little sign about it. Remember, if you do not see this, then before you type anything, stop. You only want to see the go signs, which type on the chat window. Because in case somebody is competing with someone else, you don't want to give away the answer. We want to keep it fun and fair and fancy-free. All right. We also have our ongoing successful experiment of the theme round. One of these rounds tonight has all 3 of its questions united by a single theme that will be announced after all the questions of that round are read. If you guess the theme before the reading, give yourself 3 bonus points. So after the round with the theme, I will announce that was our theme round. I will put this up and give you 15 seconds to write in your possible answer. If you get that answer, you can add 3 bonus points to your score. All right, and also as a reminder, please refrain from any kind of discriminatory talk, political comments, any donkey talk, or rudeness. Just plain rudeness is not good. And let's take a break from the current situation that keeps us from traditional trivia. We want to keep that bar trivia party atmosphere going, and that means just pure 100 adrenaline rush of fun. Let's keep it light and lively. And most importantly, let's keep it friendly. We're all friends here. Be respectful. And scores can be kept on the provided printout sheet, which has been shared on Facebook. They can also be kept on scratch paper, or if score is very low, on your fingers or toes. If it's low, you don't have to tell anybody. It's okay. We're all just have fun. All right, welcome. Let's get this road on the show with our first category, round 1. The category is riots. Riots. A riot. Okay. Question 1. Or I should call it Riots and Rebellions. Yeah, I think it's a better title. Riots and Rebellions. Question 1. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, or Sepoy Rebellion, was caused by a number of factors, but one main factor was said to be the discovery by Indian soldiers that the British were supplying them with rifle cartridges made from what substance? The Indian Rebellion of 1857, or Sepoy Rebellion, was caused by a number of factors, but one main factor was said to be the discovery by Indian soldiers that the British were supplying them with rifle cartridges made from what substance? The British were supplying them with rifle cartridges made from what substance? Okay, I'm going to start the music. Here's your minute. And go. That means you, music. I apologize. I'm having some stalling with the music. There we go. Ooh, epic. All right, 20 seconds. And 10 seconds. And that is time. All right. Question number 1 for riots and rebellions. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, or Sepoy Rebellion, was caused by a number of factors, but what main factor was said to be the discovery by Indian soldiers that the British were supplying them with rifle cartridges made from what substance? Okay, so I got a bunch of answers. A few of them came fairly close. I always grade on a curve. I'd say the closest is probably Charles with his guess dead cow parts. But we were specifically answering. We were looking for fat. Fat, yes, beef or pork fat. You could also say animal fat as thing. I will give it to. But yes, specifically the Indian Rebellion was caused by the rifle cartridges were sealed with beef fat or pork fat. And considering the large number of those soldiers were either Hindu or Muslim, who either, was not a good combination. Oops, you tore open a cartridge with your mouth. Guess you're not going to heaven because you broke your dietary restrictions. Ugh. Yeah, and so that started a revolution. Or yes, the answer is animal fat, beef fat, pork fat. I would accept. That's as long as you got fat in the answer, that's the answer I'll accept. Yes. Okay. Question number 2. Question 2. What series of riots against police persecution in 1969, named for a bar in New York's Greenwich Village area, is said to be the beginning of the modern-day LGBTQ rights movement? What series of riots against police persecution in 1969, named for a bar in New York's Greenwich Village area, is said to be the beginning of the modern-day LGBTQ rights movement? Here's your minute. I love the funk. We want the funk. Gotta have that funk. Ten seconds. And that is time for question number 2. What series of riots against police persecution in 1969, named for a bar in New York's Greenwich Village area, is said to be the beginning of the modern-day LGBTQ rights movement? Yes, I got answers coming in. I got answers from Charles and Dad and Mike, and you are all correct. We were talking about the riots at the Stonewall Inn. Yes, or you call them the Stonewall riots. Yes, that very famous act of social rebellion. That struggle still continues today. Few people don't know the organization. The start behind that was it wasn't even. In fact, it was little known in the gay community too. The organizer of that, right, was a trans woman, a trans woman. So they've all been we've been fighting for our rights for a long time. Yeah. Okay, question number 3. Question 3. During the French Revolution, what clergyman and statesman was dragged from a church and beheaded more than a century after his death? During the French Revolution, what clergyman and statesman was dragged from a church and beheaded more than a century after his death? Here's your minute. All right, 10 seconds. All right, and that's question number 3. Let's see the answer together. During the French Revolution, what clergyman and statesman was dragged from a church and beheaded more than a century after his death? And that is time. Yes, we are getting some answers in. We got answers from Mike and Charles and Dad. And you are correct. It is that famed statesman of Louis the Sun King, and of course also that villain in the Three Musketeers is Cardinal Richelieu. Cardinal Richelieu, that great French clergyman and statesman. Yes. During the French Revolution, they dragged his body out of its crypt and chopped his head off. Even 100 years after that, some French noble kept his head as like a trophy until the French government, only under Napoleon III, bought it back, asking, okay, national hero kind of thing. And then again, it got returned to its body. And so, yeah, he's man, I'm really hoping when I die, my remains don't end up going on an adventure like decades or centuries left. Just shoot my body into space so no one can touch it. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, man. I guess if there's any figure in history I could see it becoming a lich, that would be. Sorry, Dad. No extra points for spelling. It's not a. This ain't Wheel of Fortune, except in the first couple minutes. So, well, yeah. Okay. But kudos. You get brownie points from me, Dad. How's that? I appreciate your precise spelling of the name. Yes. Okay. Round two. The category is languages. What inventor, whose name sounds similar to a tree, created a writing system specifically for the Cherokee language in the 19th century? What inventor, whose name sounds similar to a tree, created a writing system specifically for the Cherokee language in the 19th century? Here's your minute. All right. That is time for question number one. What inventor, whose name sounds similar to a tree, created a writing system specifically for the Cherokee language in the 19th century? Okay, we have a few guesses. We got guesses from Mike and Mom and Charles and Dad. And sorry, Mike, it was not Professor Oak. That's a hilarious answer. No, I love it. No, Dad got it right. Big kudos to Dad because he got exactly. He spelled it wrong. It's spelled differently from the tree, but that's okay. I count the spelling of the tree too for this answer. It is sequoia or sequoia, depending on your pronunciation. Sequoia in the den with a knife. Yes, Sequoia was a Cherokee man who looked at the language of his people and said, we need a system of symbolic writing for our own language. This is what the Europeans got it. Why we can do it too? And it actually came up pretty well. He called his the symbols in the writing. He referred to them as his talking leaves, and it was actually quite popular and extensively used in Cherokee in Cherokee communities for a time. Very brilliant man, Sequoia. Yes, well done, Dad. The den with the knife. Played by Christopher Lloyd. No, well, wrong show. That's at least 10 episodes ago. Okay. Question number 2. Double deuce. Question 2. What form of coded messages popular among Victorian nobility would require not a degree in linguistics to interpret, but a degree in botany? What form of coded messages popular among Victorian nobility would require not a degree in linguistics to interpret, but a degree in botany? Here's your minute. Ten seconds. All right, that is time. It's time for question 2 of languages. What form of coded messages popular among Victorian nobility would require not a degree in linguistics to interpret, but a degree in botany? All right, already got some answers in. We got answers from Mike and Mom and Dad. And big shout out to Mike because you got it. You nailed it. Yes, it is what was known in those times as the language of flowers. Yes, the language of flowers. That might, or Victorian flower language, or I'd like to florography. Florography. Yes, you send messages to your friends and foes via flowers. Depending on the culture, each flower had its own symbol, has its own occasion. I mean, there's a little bit of that today. You know, we have red roses to symbolize love, white roses to symbolize friendship, lilies to symbolize, mourning, sadness. But there was actually a interesting, complex system by which they would send flowers via messenger to give messengers. I bet. That in the Middle Ages too. In the Middle Ages, they were probably doing it for some real Game of Thrones stuff, right? Red rose, wildflower, orchid. Oh, someone's gonna stab me. Good shout out to Lisa. Well done. Excellent spot, Lisa. Yes, you guessed it. The language of flowers. It's fascinating. Question number 3. Languages. A 2010 study by scientists at the University of Haifa was able to determine that reading what language relies on only the left side of the brain, making it especially difficult for new learners. A 2010 study by scientists at the University of Haifa, that's Haifa, the University of Haifa, was able to determine that reading what language relies on only the left side of the brain, making it especially difficult for new learners. All right, here's your song and your minute. Okay, there is your minute. Question number 3, languages. A 2010 study by scientists at the University of Haifa was able to determine that reading what language relies on only the left side of the brain, making it especially difficult for new learners. Yes, we got answers from Mom and Dad and Charles and Mike. And Mom and Dad are correct. The answer is Arabic. Yes, Arabic. This is actually I'm sort of pitching this as fun because I just started my classes for my TESOL degree, and so my first class is Intro to Linguistics. And so the first things they read the class material was this article, and it's this article about how this study at the University of Haifa, by studying undergrad learners, they were able to determine that unlike most languages where reading the text, whether English, Chinese, that's it requires both sides, the left and right side of the brain, participate. For some reason, when just with reading Arabic, only the left side of the brain is used. Like all the focus depends on that. Something about the way Arabic is written, it's consonant heavy, it's right to left, and it's like a continuous script. But I just found that really fascinating. That was a really interesting study. And it's a really interesting class. I'm looking forward to taking the rest of it. So I'm sort of promoting like, hey, this is the class I'm taking. I'm going to steal this for trivia. But yes, great guess, Mom, Dad, excellent. You probably overheard it. Yes, that's right. You guys would do a lot better if you're quarantined with a host. I'm giving away way too much to you guys. Mom, Dad, you're cut off. I mean, I guess if you're going to give answers, I might as well give your parents. Sorry. Okay, yes, the answer is Arabic. Arabic. All right, now the question 3, the last category before the round 3, last round before the halftime. The category is mental conditions. Mental conditions for round 3. Hiccups, not a mental condition. Okay. Well, maybe. All right. Question 1. What 1985 book by neurologist Oliver Sacks, a collection of stories based on the case histories of his patients, has a title inspired by one patient who had visual agnosia, a condition that left him unable to recognize even familiar faces or objects? What 1985 book by neurologist Oliver Sacks, a collection of stories based on the case histories of his patients, has a title inspired by one patient who had visual agnosia, a condition that left him unable to recognize even familiar faces or objects? All right, you can get your song. Here's your minute. And some polka. Ten seconds. Okay. That is time. So discover question 1 for mental conditions. What 1985 book by neurologist Oliver Sacks, a collection of stories based on the case histories of his patients, has a title inspired by one patient who had visual agnosia, a condition that left him unable to recognize even familiar faces or objects? Well, we got some very close, some answers coming in. We got some very close answers. We got answers from Mom and Dad and Charles and Mike. And the answer is Mom and Dad had the closest. Like if you mashed them together, you would get something like our answer. The answer is the man who mistook his wife for a hat. Yes, the man who mistook his wife for a hat. And I don't even know how that works. It's just like I walked out the door, put my wife on my head, and was like, why doesn't my hat make me dinner anymore? You're a marriage counselor. Yeah, I want to talk to you about my marriage. Oh, is your wife here? She's right here on my head. Sir, that's a hat. Yeah, the hat is the wife. It's a fedora. I just assumed you were an MRA. It makes total sense. Okay, yes, the man who mistook his wife for a hat. Still haven't read that book, actually. I'm kind of curious about it now. All right. Question number 2. What condition in its retrograde form is exceedingly rare in medical history, but incredibly common in fiction? What condition in its retrograde form is exceedingly rare in medical history, but incredibly common in fiction? Here's your song. audience watching at home, if the polka music is a total turnoff and you put this on and you're like, what is this? I don't want to see your polka music. Are you 100 years old? I will change it. I'll make some of that trap synth that kids are so down with. Some cool. How do you do, fellow kids? Okay. Question number 2. Question 2. What condition in its retrograde form is exceedingly rare in medical history, but incredibly common in fiction? Yes. Answers from Mom, Dad, Mike, and Charles. And Dad, Mike, and Charles, you all got it right. It is amnesia, retrograde amnesia. Lesser forms of amnesia, like temporary memory gaps, are fairly not common, but not uncommon. But retrograde amnesia, that TV style amnesia, where all of a sudden everything from past a certain date is just completely forgotten, and you forget your identity, and you're like, who am I? It's actually really, really. There are cases, but it's really rare in medical history. But you can't. It pops up everywhere. And why? Because it turns every character into basically a walking mystery box. And I was like, oh, I can't remember everything. I've got to recover my memories. Here are some convenient flashbacks to show to show what I did in the past and how I'm transitioning in the future, how it affects. And oh, look, there are some callbacks. And boom, you have a J.J. Abrams movie. Lens flare, roll credits, done. All right, yes. Amnesia. Oh, also, again, everyone knows, of course, the cure for amnesia, if anyone's watched cartoons, bonk them on the head. No. You're just going to give them a concussion. That's not a good idea. Okay. Question number 3. Question 3. Paris syndrome, an actual mental condition that can cause anxiety, dizziness, and hallucinations, occurs only in, yes, Paris, but is suffered almost exclusively by tourists of what nation? Paris syndrome, an actual mental condition that can cause anxiety, dizziness, and hallucinations, occurs only in, yes, Paris, but is suffered almost exclusively by tourists of what nation? I should say tourists from what nation? Exclusive by tourists from what nation? All right, here's your song. Ooh, I like this. All right, and there's your minute. Okay, question number 3. Paris syndrome, an actual medical condition that can cause anxiety, dizziness, and hallucinations, occurs only in, yes, Paris, but is suffered almost exclusively by tourists from what nation? All right, we got answers coming in. We got answers from Mike and Charles and Dad and Mom all come in. 3 have guessed. Only 1 has the correct answer. Yes, and shout out goes to Charles. He has guessed correctly. The answer is Japan. Japan. Yes, Paris syndrome is almost exclusively a condition suffered by tourists from Japan. Many they come to the city of Paris. Depending on some opinions, some say they're inflicted because they go to Paris and they're overwhelmed by it. Some say they're extremely underwhelmed by they have all these expectations of what Paris is supposed to be as this like fantastic tourist glowing city. And it's a cool city, don't get me wrong or anything, but it's then they get, no one's really sure of the cause, but they get something akin to like extreme culture shock entering. Yes, it was some to a point that actually the for a brief time the Japanese embassy actually had a Japanese embassy in Paris specifically had a hotline supplied for tourists to use. If they find themselves suffering from Paris syndrome, they could call the Japanese embassy and get immediate attention. That's some say they believe it to be a there's some who think it's like sort of similar related to Stendhal syndrome, the syndrome caused by when you look at a exquisite or a fantastically overwhelming piece of art or music. In fact, somebody watches lots of. I don't know. I haven't started watching a lot of anime until like barely until I just started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's been my big thing. And I mean, one of the characters in they're not in Paris, but it's all about world travel. And one of the characters is actually a Frenchman, Jean Pierre Ponoriff. I would say Jean Pierre Ponoriff. Silver Chariot. Oh, that's okay. I just love to chat anime. I love it. That's sorry, I love JoJo's. Such a good show. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. At least I'm only on season 3 now. I'm on Stardust Crusaders. I love it. Every season is essentially its own storyline, so it's very much they're sort of loosely tied, but it's kind of cool. Dad says, so a theme is a Japanese man with amnesia who thinks his wife is a hat. Let me think. That sounds like a Yoko Ono conceptual piece. Okay, well, we've now hit the home stretch. We're in the halftime. We have hit the halftime round. Oh, wait, the halftime round. You have 5 minutes for this question and 5 guesses to make. You can only make 5 guesses. Any more will be discounted. Each guess is worth 1 point. If you get all 5 correct, you can add 5 extra points to your score for a total of 10. And a big reminder, if you are enjoying tonight's trivia, if you're on the chat or simply just watching, please feel free to like this video, hit the like button. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. You can get future Hermit Trivia updates on the channel. If you are enjoying this work and you want to see some more, and you want to see this, this channel grow some more and have some more amazing trivia goodness, please don't be afraid to check out my Patreon page, the Hermit Trivia, or Patreon. Patreon. Yes, check out the Hermit Trivia Patreon. We're currently just at the single dig $5 donation level now, so you can, if you want to throw us a couple bucks to keep the channel going and keep it afloat, that would be amazing and awesome. If you already have, thank you. But anything that helps our channel grow and expand. We're expecting many great things in the future. We'll have many more tiers of membership. There'll probably bonuses, things like we're looking at things like extra shows, shout outs, promotionals, chances to write in your own questions. If I reach a certain level of donation, I'll do something wild on the internet. Who knows? Not too wild. Don't expect me to go the PewDiePie route. That leads to madness and demonetization. Okay. But yes, so if you're like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and most importantly, share with your friends. Share with your friends and your family, because the more people we have watching, the more people we have playing, then the more fun trivia is for all of us. All right, enough of my yakking. Let's get to the halftime. The halftime category is movies. Movies. Name 5 of the 9 films nominated for the Best Picture category in the 2020 Oscars? Name 5 of the 9 films nominated for the Best Picture category in the 2020 Oscars. All right, let me get that clock started for your 5 minutes. And go. Oh, whoa. Yeah, epic. All right. That is time. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed your break. Hope y'all, I forgot about this part of the spiel where you get a smoke break or have a drink or get something to eat or hit the bathroom. So if you've been here doing the pee dance this whole 5 minutes, my apologies. If you want to go now, we'll hold it against you. But I am going to read the answers. Okay. The halftime category is movies. Movies. Name 5 of the 9 films nominated for the Best Picture category in the 2020 Oscars. All right. So those 9 films are The Irishman, Ford v Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, Joker, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. So that's The Irishman, Ford v Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, Joker, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Yes, with Parasite, of course, being the Best Picture winner. Those are the 9. If you got at least 5 of those 9 films, give yourself 5 points and add another 5 on top of that because you got the full 10 points to your score. It was actually a pretty interesting crop for Oscars this year. I found them pretty disappointing in past years, but I'm glad Parasite got the win. I actually, Leslie and I saw it together in the theaters. Excellent movie. Really enjoyed it. I also managed to watch more than I remembered. I've seen both Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Jojo Rabbit. And I like them. I mean, honestly, actually, I kind of thinking like it was very close for me between Parasite and Jojo Rabbit. I really liked Jojo Rabbit a lot. And then I recently just found a couple of days ago that I thought Knives Out was also nominated, but it turned out it got a pass. It did not got a Best Original Screenplay nomination, but I don't know. Maybe they're still mad at Rian Johnson for Last Jedi. But Knives Out definitely should have gotten nominated. If you haven't seen that yet, check out Knives Out. It's really fun. Okay, on to the second half of our trivia game. Feel free to post if you'd like to brag and post your current score totals on the chat site. Post those right now. Let us know. Show off your skills. Okay, round 4. The category is exploration. Exploration. Question 1. What weather phenomenon, a bright glow caused by electrical discharge in the air, was named by explorers who saw it on the masts of ships and believed it to be divine intervention? What weather phenomenon, a bright glow caused by electrical discharge in the air, was named by explorers who saw it on the masts of ships and believed it to be divine intervention? Okay, that is time. It is time for question 1, round 4. What weather phenomenon, a bright glow caused by electrical discharge in the air, was named by explorers who saw it on the masts of ships and believed it to be divine intervention? And Mom and Charles and Dad all have guesses to the answer. And I can already say Mom and Dad are both correct. Yes, the answer is St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire. Also of, can you hear the thunder rolling all across the great divide? Can you feel it then searching higher and higher? Gotta keep it on going, St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah. Terrible movie, great song. Okay. Pretty cool weather phenomenon, too. Yes, St. Elmo's Fire was the answer. Well done, Mom and Dad. You guys are gangbusters tonight. You're really kicking ass. Probably because you live with me 24/7. And I'm a trivia girl in a quarantine world. Da, 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 da. It's okay. All right. Question number 2. Question 2. After his presidency ended, Teddy Roosevelt traveled to explore the Amazon River basin, where, if his son Kermit had not saved a dose of quinine, he would have died of what disease? After his presidency ended, Teddy Roosevelt traveled to explore the Amazon River basin, where, if his son Kermit had not saved a dose of quinine, he would have died of what disease? Here's your minute. All right, that is time. It is time for question number 2. Question 2. After his presidency ended, Teddy Roosevelt traveled to explore the Amazon River basin, where, if his son Kermit had not saved a dose of quinine, he would have died of what disease? Mom and Dad and Charles and Mike have all got answers, and Charles is right. It's bull moose recidivism. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's malaria. Malaria, yes. Malaria is that disease that is treated with quinine. And of course, quinine, one of the main ingredients in tonic water, which is mixed with gin, because everyone loves a little gin. And that's how we got the gin and tonic. That tasty, tasty drink started as a malaria treatment. Yes, that is right. Good on you, Kermit, for saving that dose. Okay, question number 2. Question 3. Question 3. We did 2. The Thunderbird, a big bird who plays an important role in various Native American mythologies, is thought to have been sparked by the discovery of fossils of what flying creatures? The Thunderbird, a big bird who plays an important role in various Native American mythologies, is thought to have been sparked by the discovery of fossils of what flying creatures? Here's a minute. Sorry, getting the music back to you. There we go. Ooh, I like this. All right. And question number 3, that's time. The Thunderbird, a big bird who plays an important role in various Native American mythologies, is thought to have been sparked by the discovery of fossils of what flying creatures? Spy music. Good thinking, guys, Leslie. No, you got answers from Mom and Charles and Dad and Mike and Lisa, I'm guessing. Yes, you all guessed pterodactyl. Yes, you're correct. The pterodactyl. I would have also accepted pterosaur or pteranodon or Quetzalcoatlsaurus. Yes, it was the bones of pterodactyls that are believed to have influenced the myths of the Thunderbird. That is cool. It was, as soon as Native Americans saw those bones, it was just Thunderbirds are go. It's pretty cool. I like the roots of mythology. There's also the belief that the myth of the Cyclops. Someone proposed that may have started from a Greek a Greek storyteller finding an elephant skull, because if you look at the skull of an elephant, once it's just bone, like where the trunk should be is just like what looks like a big hole in the forehead. And so they guessed like, oh wait, that must be a giant with one big eye. They just looked at an elephant skull like, yeah, Cyclops. Okay, cool. All right. And as many have guessed, yes, this was our theme round coming at you, the theme round. And it looks like Mom kind of jumped the gun on it on posting a thing. I will put the go up for 15 seconds for those who want to make the guess, but I'm sure it's fairly obvious by now. Yes, Mom, you have guessed correctly. It was Sesame Street. Sesame Street. I was also accepted Muppets. I would have accepted Muppets. So what we have? We have in question one, we mentioned St. Elmo's fire. Elmo. Question number 2, we mentioned Teddy Roosevelt's son, Kermit Roosevelt. And then in question number 3, we mentioned the Thunderbird, a big bird. So it's all good, Mom. It's all fine. So it's Elmo, Kermit, and Big Bird. Yes, those are the Sesame Street characters or more. If you Sesame Street or guess Muppets, you can give yourself 3 points for that question. That's a guess. Yes, yeah, just for the future. So after every theme round, I will announce this is the theme round. I'm going to put the go sign up, and I'll give 15 seconds for people to put the answer to guess. This is a pretty easy one, so it's the thing. But yes, Muppets or Sesame Street characters. It's all right. Sunny day, everything's A-okay. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? The answer is an HBO account. Okay. That was fun. That was our theme round. All right. Round 5. The category is paintings. Paintings, favorite subject of mine. Question 1. What famous painting was stolen from the National Gallery at Oslo in 1994 with a note left behind reading, "Thanks for the poor security"? What famous painting was stolen from the National Gallery at Oslo in 1994 with a note left behind reading, "Thanks for the poor security"? All right, here's your minute. Sorry. Ten seconds. All right, and that is time. Time for question number 1, paintings. What famous painting was stolen from the National Gallery at Oslo in 1994 with a note left behind reading, "Thanks for the poor security"? And Mom and Charles both have the correct answer. Yes, it is the Scream. The Scream, that famous painting by Norwegian painter Edvard Munch. Edvard Munch's The Scream. Oh, I love it. Leaping lizards. Don't know, but that note they left was a scream. It is kind of funny. Yes, and Dad and Mike also got the answer. And yes, it is a scream. Yeah, nice bit of trolling on the part of the thieves there. They, of course, eventually got caught and the painting returned, but it's nice. Not only got to steal a valuable painting from a museum, you got to throw some shade while you do it. Cool painting, bro. Nice museum for a clown to take to the circus, idiot. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike, Lisa. Have a great night. Give my love to Meyer and Bubba. Stay safe, get lots of sleep, and I will we'll chat and game soon. If not soon, then in the future. Cool. Thanks so much for coming out and supporting the show. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a great night. And say goodbye to my brother and sister-in-law there. All right. Question number 2. Question 2. According to legend, what famous fresco painter of the Trecento period of Italian art. When asked to prove his artistic skill to the Pope, simply drew a perfect circle in freehand. According to legend, what famous fresco painter of the Trecento period of Italian art, when asked to provide his artistic skill to the Pope, simply drew a perfect circle in freehand? All right, here's your minute. All right, that is time. It's time for question number 2 for painting. According to legend, what famous fresco painter of the Trecento period of Italian art, when asked to prove his artistic skill to the Pope, simply drew a perfect circle in freehand? Great answer. Okay, we have a guess from Charles and a guess from Mom. And so far, no, it is not Michelangelo. It is not Michelangelo. It is the great the Trecento fresco painter Giotto di Bondone. But just Giotto is okay. Yes, yes. Giotto was apparently renowned for his ability to draw a perfect circle in freehand, and that is no mean feat. That's pretty spectacular. And as anyone who's seen the Scrovegni Chapel frescoes that he's made, it's definitely a feat he was capable of. Yes, Giotto, a personal favorite of mine. Brilliant painter, brilliant architect. It's really the very first rock star artist of the Western tradition, post Roman Empire. Dude was pretty awesome. Okay, question number 3. Question 3. A few centuries after Giotto's time, fresco painting on walls soon gave way to oil paintings on canvas. What kind of oil is usually the standard for making oil paint? A few centuries after Giotto's time, fresco painting on walls soon gave way to oil paintings on canvas. What kind of oil is usually the standard for making oil paint? Okay, we now have the answer for question number 3. Question 3. A few centuries after Giotto's time, fresco painting on walls soon gave way to oil paintings on canvas. What kind of oil is usually the standard for making oil paint? Yes, mom is correct. It is linseed oil. Yes, linseed oil is the type of oil used for oil paint that helps give it that lovely, the viscosity, that color as it dries. And oh, I can wax rhapsodic about oil paint. Yes, mom is correct. Linseed oil is the answer. It gives you some beautiful paint and some beautiful paintings. Linseed oil, it's good. All right. By the way, Linseed Oil Manufacturers of America. I will take my check with multiple zeros, unmarked, and small bills. You can write to this address. Flaxseed oil is the same thing. Let me double check on that. I do want to give credit where credit is due. Hold on. Quick trivia fact check. Oh, you're correct. Linseed oil is also known as flaxseed oil. I did not know that. Excellent. Yes, Charles. So give yourself credit too. If you guess linseed oil or flaxseed oil, thanks for the heads up. That's awesome news. Yeah. So Charles, you're absolutely right. Flaxseed oil is also the right answer. So yeah, give yourself points for that. That's awesome. Well done. Okay, we're now in the last round before the final question. We are in round 6. The category is TV trivia. TV trivia. Question 1 for TV trivia. Jamie Somers became the Bionic Woman following emergency surgery after what type of accident? Jamie Somers became the Bionic Woman following emergency surgery after what type of accident? Here's your minute. Seconds. All right, and that is time. Let's go through the answer together. Question number 1. Jamie Somers became the Bionic Woman following emergency surgery after what type of accident? I see mom and dad both put in answers, and mom has the correct answer. Yes, she was injured skydiving. Skydiving. Also accepted skydiving or parachuting. Skydiving or parachuting. Yes, that's right. Jamie Somers became the Bionic Woman. Is it bad news? You were badly injured, and now we gotta we're gonna spend $2 million to pick you up and give you bionics. Wait, but that man got $6 million. He was a $6 million man. Gender gap in pay. But anyway, we're gonna fix you up. We're gonna. Oh no, will I be horribly deformed? No. You're going to look just fine. But every time you go to do something, the camera's going to slow down. You're S. The Bionic Woman. Jamie Summers. I don't know if her name pronounced Somers or Summers. Because if it's Somers, I'm going to tell everyone I came from Somers, and I'm going to tell everyone I came from the Lady and the Bionic Woman, because that's a way better story than some dead Revolutionary War soldier. Yep, Town of Somers, named for Jamie Somers, a.k.a. the Bionic Woman. But your face is still perfect. Hey, bionic surgery these days, they can work miracles. Okay. And question number 2. Question 2. This year, Netflix released a special interactive episode of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, making it the second Netflix series to feature an interactive episode. What is the first? This year, Netflix released a special interactive episode of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, making it the second Netflix series to feature an interactive episode. What is the first? Ooh, I like this one. It sounds like the Bionic Woman's workout music. Okay, that is time for, as much as I hate to cut this awesome music off, that is time for our question. Let's get the answer. Question 2. This year, Netflix released a special interactive episode of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, making it the second Netflix series to feature an interactive episode. What was the first? Okay, we got answers in from Charles. I know Leslie knows this. She sent me the message earlier. And any other guesses? And yes, Charles and Leslie, you are correct. The answer is Black Mirror. Black Mirror was the series. The specific name of the episode was Bandersnatch, named from the creature in Lewis Carroll's Jabberwocky from Alice in Wonderland. But yes, the series was called Black Mirror. Black Mirror was the first Netflix show to feature an interactive choose your own adventure style series. And it was pretty good. It was actually like they hadn't really worked the kinks out yet when it first came out, but the concept was great. It was pretty cool. And then by the time the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt episode came out, they figured it they figured out all the bugs, and it was really funny and really well done. It was awesome. It's really interesting format. Now that they figured it out, I think we're going to see a lot more episodes of this type because it's really fun. It's essentially like role playing on TV, and I recommend checking out. It's Black Mirror. The episode's called Bandersnatch. It's the most accessible one because every episode of Black Mirror is self-contained. It's its own it's its own thing. Whereas Kimmy Schmidt, like you'd have to like have watched 5 4 seasons past of Kimmy Schmidt to know what's going on in the episode. It's hilarious, but they're both fantastic shows. But if you want like a taste of what an interactive Netflix episode is like, I'd recommend check out Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. They're both really good. Yes, the answer is Black Mirror. Correct. All right. Question number 3, the penultimate question, last before the final. All right. Question 3. The Tommy Westphall universe hypothesis. The theory that much of the stories we see on television are the fleeting dreams of a child is a fan theory whose name comes from a character in what TV medical drama? The Tommy Westphall universe hypothesis. The theory that much of the stories we see on television are the fleeting dreams of a child is a fan theory whose name comes from a character in what TV medical drama? Here's your minute. Ten seconds. Okay, that is the answer to that's question 3, our penultimate question. Let's learn it together. The Tommy Westphall universe hypothesis. The theory that much of the stories we see on television are the fleeting dreams of a child is a fan theory whose name comes from a character in what TV medical drama? And we also already got some answers coming in. I see some from Mom, some from Charles. I'm going to give a couple seconds, let the make up for the lag. I know the lag, the struggle is real. I'm going to sit my drink. All right, from Mom, Charles, and Leslie. And Mom got it right. Yes, the answer is Saint Elsewhere. Saint Elsewhere. That is correct. Yeah, actually, that is a show I've never watched in full. I've seen like bits and pieces on reruns, but it's actually a show I've been meaning to like. It's an old classic, and like I don't know. That's if there's something to find like a streaming or something, I would not mind like binging through that, seeing how it holds up, and check it out. A lot of good people. Yeah, you're right. Howie Mandel got his start there. A lot of good actors did actually. Denzel Washington got a start there. Also, I believe Ed Begley Jr. had a recurring role. And yes, so at the very let me explain the Tommy Westphall universe hypothesis. Charles is correct. The very final episode of Saint Elsewhere involves it panning away to the hospital, and then you see that the hospital is the inside of a snow globe being stared at by Tommy Westphall, who's an autistic child who just is like in his own little world staring at this snow globe. And one of the doctors there, and two of the characters like, oh, we can't figure out. I wonder what he dreams about when he sees that snow globe. What does he think? And it basically implies that the entirety of the world of Saint Elsewhere is the fleeting dream of a daydreaming child. And then, but wait, there's more. So St. Elsewhere featured multiple cameos and references to other shows in its reference. There was multiple characters. Cheers was one, because St. Elsewhere was also in Boston. There's one episode where the characters in St. Elsewhere go to Cheers bar, and the character Carla Tortelli has one of her kids there at St. Elsewhere. She makes a special guest appearance. So it implies that Cheers is also of Tommy Westfall's dream. Then when you get to Frasier, you had a Frasier, Kelsey Grammer. He was in Cheers. Now he's in Frasier. Was Frasier also part of Tommy Westfall's dream? And then there's multiple there's announcements where they make references to other characters. Characters who appear in Homicide: Life on the Streets and then later appear on The Wire. That means Homicide and The Wire. They're all part of the Tommy Westfall universe. His dream. It's all the dreams of a daydreaming child. I feel like put up a conspiracy board here to explain. It's wild, man. It's wild. I love it. But yes, St. Elsewhere was the correct answer. Excellent work, Mom. Correct. That is wild. Okay. All right. Enough of those shenanigans. We're on the final question. Just one last reminder. If you enjoyed this show, if you're watching at home, please feel free to like this video. If you're watching it, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Feel free to please share and like with many of your friends as possible. The more people we have watching and enjoying, the better the show becomes. The bigger the audience, the better the show. That's just science. Well, actually, no, I can't vouch for that. So, but yeah, anyway, your love and support is all appreciated. For those who are here and are sincerely, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for making Hermit Trivia the awesome show that it is today. Yeah, this had so much fun. This really flew by. So the bad news is the show is coming to an end. But the good news is we're ending with a bang, because we got the final question right here for you. And it's a doozy. This is going to be great. All right, here it is. The final question. For this question, you may wager anywhere from up to 0 to 10 points. You must guess all answers correct to win the points. Otherwise, you must subtract the amount of wagered points from your score. So be careful. Wake up, sheeple. That's been your thing now. No, my conspiracy board will say... Pepe Sylvia. Oh, God. I bet there's some kind of like cross-character connection that makes Always Sunny a part of the Westfall universe. I could totally see that. Well, actually, no. They've proven Always Sunny actually canonically the universe only exists in the dreams of a floating of a cosmic sea turtle. So they got that covered. Okay. Enough of my yakking. All right. Final question. The category is weddings. Weddings. So the question is, match the culture on the left to its traditional wedding attire on the right. So what we have on the left side, we have 5 cultural groups. And placing a meeple on the final question. Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Carcassonne lately. Yes, so numbers 1 through 5 are different countries / cultural groups, general culture. So number 1, we have the Indian subcontinent, so East India. Number 1 is India. Number 2, Korean. Number 3, Filipino. Number 4, Orthodox Jewish. And number 5, West African. So number 1, Indian subcontinent. Number 2, Korean. Number 3, Filipino. Number 4, Orthodox Jewish. And number 5, West African. And on the right side, we have the traditional wedding attire, both male and female, of each culture. We have five lists of wedding attire. Okay, so letter A, we have the Barong Tagalog. Barong Tagalog. That's B-A-R-O-N-G. It's 2 words. Second word, T-A-G-A-L-O-G. Barong Tagalog. Letter B, we have the kittel, Kittel, kittel. Letter C, we have the dashiki, Dashiki. Letter C, dashiki. Letter D, we have the sari, Sari, not, oh, I'm sorry, sorry. And letter E, we have the hanbok, just one word, Hanbok, hanbok. So Barong Tagalog, kittel, dashiki, sari, hanbok. You have to match each culture to its traditional wedding attire. And you got 3 minutes to do this. We set you up time. You set up the music. Good luck. One more minute. Thirty seconds. And 10 seconds. All right, and that is time. I hope you all enjoyed your time. Hope you had plenty of time to figure out the answer, and I hope you had much fun answering this question as I did making it. Most likewise, I hope you guys all had much fun playing this trivia game as I did making it, because I had a blast. I always do every Tuesday and Thursday. It's a lot of fun. Okay, here we are. The final question. Let's discover the answer together. The final question. Our category was weddings, and we wanted you to match the culture on the left to its traditional wedding attire on the right. All right. So we have on number one, the Indian subcontinent. home to everything from chicken makhani to Bollywood to the Ganges River and to amazing the bang lassi, which I hope to try someday. 420, it's always 420 somewhere. All right, so number one, Indian subcontinent. The traditional wedding attire, this one worn by women, is the sari. The sari, sari. Yes, that beautifully colored cloth. India in Hindu culture, the sari is traditional wedding attire. All right, so number one is D. Number one is D. All right, number two, Korean culture. Korean culture, traditional wedding attire used to be just the traditional day-to-day attire, until the modern day. But now you see still a lot at weddings. In a name literally translating to people's dress, people's clothing is hanbok. Hanbok is the traditional Korean attire. Yes, the hanbok. Yeah, sorry, Leslie. I don't like lassi, but I do like bong. I'm really, I'm willing to look past it. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Number two is E. Korean is the hanbok. Hanbok. Okay. Number three, Filipino. Filipino. Their culture, their traditional wedding attire for men is an ornate shirt known as the Barong Tagalog. Barong Tagalog, which also quite literally means the shirt of our people, the shirt of the Tagalog people. Barong Tagalog. Number three, Filipino is A. Number three is Filipino. Number three, Filipino is A. Number three is A. Okay. All right. Number four. We have Orthodox Jewish culture. What wedding attire is there? Okay. In Orthodox Jewish culture, when men get married, they wear they wear a loose-fitting white robe called a kittel. A kittel, the Yiddish word, right? Kittel. So number four is B, the kittel, loose-fitting white robe worn by men in Orthodox Jewish weddings. All right, and number five, last but not least, West African culture. They wear a robe made in beautiful kente cloth, otherwise known as a dashiki. Dashiki. Yes, West African culture. Traditional weddings require a dashiki. Okay, so here's our answer. Final answer. We have number one is D. Number two is E. Number three is A. Number four is B. And number five is C. If those are your answers, you can add on your points and give yourself a pat on the back because you did really well. Number three is A. And number four is B. And number five is C. Oh, Charles also mentioned, I guess, that Orthodox Jews are also buried in kittels. Some kind of meta statement on marriage there. I guess that is that kind of like a Schrute wedding from The Office, where when any member of Dwight's family get married, they're married standing in their open graves. That's till death do us part. That's very appropriate. Yes, DEA. I think I got the. Let me make sure I mix it up. Yeah, DEA BC. All right, those should be your final answers. Let us know if you got the final question right. Let us know your final point total if you'd like to brag. I think most of you who are playing today did really, really well on this quiz, and these are some tough ones. I went pretty ham on the challenge here. But that was a lot of fun. Thank you all for coming to Hermit Trivia. We are here every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We would love to have more people come by. So please, next time you're around, if you're seeing this, bring your friends, have them have a listen, let them be on the chat thread. Let's show them around. Once again, if you enjoy this video, please like this video, subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Please feel free to share with your friends on any sort of social medias. You can check out my account, Mark Walsh, on Facebook. If you want to see me, you can check out my Instagram, Rocksteady Roll Hard. You can also check out the Hermit Trivia Patreon page if you would like to give us a donation, if you'd like to help if you like this channel enough to help it thrive and grow, that would be amazing. We have many, many more good things coming. Our channel is growing quite rapidly. We're getting subscribers every week, and we're achieving and blasting to new heights. This channel was born out of quarantine, but it will grow and flourish like the mighty oak, or perhaps the sequoia. So yes, please help us grow. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. I had a fantastic time. I'm now going to enter chill out mode. I am stepping down from the host position right now and just going to maybe hang out for a bit if people want to chat before I leave in a few minutes. But thank you all. Thank you all for coming to Hermit Trivia. Hope to see you on this Thursday at on the 21st at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some more great trivia goodness. Otherwise, thank you all. Much love, and stay safe and stay happy out there, everybody. Bye. Hi, Mom. Thanks for playing. That was good times. Turn off my Bluetooth speaker. Bye, Dad. I think it's a good time. I think it's a good time to wrap it up. I'm just going to say goodbye. I'm living with most of the people I'm saying goodbye to, so I've pretty much guessed mostly it's Charles. Thank you again for coming by to our show. Thanks so much, and thanks again for your donation on Patreon. That it's a huge help, and you're such an awesome friend. And thank you so much for your support of this channel. I hope to talk to you soon. I'll see you Thursday night. Talk to you Thursday night if no sooner. And send my love to your family, and I wish you all the best. Have a great one, dude. See you in the green room. Sounds great. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.